Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Hey.
Just rocking out over here.
Just listening to some Decibel Champion.
Good job.
One champion.
Good job.
Woohoo!
No plurality
I
there.
feel like this is so... we talked about this when he was on the show. Like, it's like kind of 80s flair. Yeah. But it's like also very Stranger Things, right?
Which is so 80s.
It's so 80s.
Very 80s, yeah. Yeah, but that's so true.
Like, I feel like
I wish we would have mentioned that to him.
I know.
Dang it. Okay.
Well, I mean, he listens to every episode. So when he hears this, he'll know.
Okay. I didn't know he listened to every episode.
I don't really know, but he better.
If he doesn't, he's going to know now that he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so we are back. And again, if you have not watched us yet on our video podcast, we are now video recording our podcasts, and you can watch them on Spotify. So if you are listening on Apple, cool, great, thank you. But if you would like to see our old wrinkly faces that need some Botox, you can. You can look at us on Spotify.
Yeah.
On the app.
Yeah, now I'm regretting that because you just said our old wrinkly faces, and you're not wrinkly.
I am wrinkly.
I hope that you can.
But
I feel like
lighting.
So we do have new lighting.
So I know
like Priscilla's a rock star. But I feel like it's super weird because it'll say like 720p is what it records in. But then it'll say like upload in high quality 180 HPI or something weird, right? Or whatever it would be, PHI. I don't know what it is. No, probably not fine. Like it's a sorority. But I don't think it's in high quality. And I'm sorry you guys have to bear. I mean, you can still see us.
Yeah. We're trying to figure it out.
But you'll have to bear with me because I haven't figured it out completely. Really, not at all. I haven't figured it out.
Well, and if, I mean, I don't know, maybe we have other podcasters that listen. We have other podcasters that happen to listen to us. And if you have found a better streaming service or studio, we are currently using Riverside, which is paired with Anchor to do the video podcast. So if there's something else out there that we should look into, please DM us and let us know because
we would appreciate it.
Yeah, we would. We're trying to kind of figure that out, but it's kind of fun to do the video. Actually, my brother, he's such a dork, but he's like, "Hey, I like the videos. Like, I like the video podcast."
Which one?
Like, Julian.
Oh, really?
Like,
he's watching the video version. Okay,
yeah.
Because the reason I say that is that Tony had said, I don't get the video version. And we're like, well, what do you like using? But he's using Apple. And so he's like, it just does the automatic download, so it's easy.
Which you can automatic download on Spotify.
On Spotify, you can, yeah. I have mine set up for different ones, of course. But yeah, you can auto download on Spotify, and that way you can watch the video version. You can see me try to figure out which way I'm less awkward.
Maybe every week we have like some special something in the background of some sort that like changes. I don't know. We got to be creative. We got to think of something.
It could be a contest.
Yeah. Spice up the background a little bit. If you notice, we're trying to play like we played our Kelly Grace on the last episode, and this episode is Decibel Champion.
And I don't know if anyone noticed when we had him on that we had his music playing in the background.
Yeah. Typically, we have our episodes on in the background, but
not playing,
but just
on. Visual.
So just trying to change it up. Maybe we'll, I don't know, kind of surprise everyone.
Yeah.
So
I feel like a contest needs to take place. I feel like our last contest winner really needs to send us some photos.
This is true. I'd like to see our swag out there in the world.
Yeah. So we need to do that. Well, we need to get her to do that. But maybe we can do another contest.
Yeah.
Like end of summer contest.
I know. I'm still not sure I'm ready for summer to end.
I know.
I'm in that torn position. Number one, it's hot as fuck where we live still. So
I know. Could it just cool down?
kind of hard to like want to get into fall season when it's still hot as fuck.
Yeah, like fall, I expect nice weather, some breeze, which it is weird. Like, I don't know if you noticed, where were we? I feel like it was somewhere, maybe we were just in your backyard. I don't know. It was breezy, and it's like, oh, that's so nice.
My backyard has had a little like breeze come through throughout summer.
Yeah,
which we never get.
It's
We always
weird.
say
we're
like
always so dry,
it's so dry.
and just like, yeah.
We don't have like a delta breeze that comes through.
No, but don't you think it is weird that like in the evenings we have dropped down? Like I think yesterday or maybe it was Friday evening, the low was going to be like 69, which is crazy
really
for
crazy.
here. We're a desert, so that's
I really
weird.
need to turn off. I probably need to give my. Oh,
darn it.
I don't. Well, look, I didn't even press record, so maybe I have no idea.
Maybe
I don't know.
You guys might just get an audio version this week. We don't know.
I have no idea.
But so we had one for a long time, and I just let it expire.
You got to renew it right now, like tomorrow morning. I'm gonna bug the shit out of you this week to renew it.
No, you don't have to bother me. I purposefully let it expire.
No, because I feel like when you do that, that's when shit fucking hits the fan.
Oh, Priscilla, I'm just so, okay, this is what happened.
Who did you have?
American Home Warranty.
Okay.
Who do you have?
Home Shield. Home Shield?
I think it's the same company.
Probably. I don't like them. I had Fidelity before and I loved them.
Maybe I need to reach out to them. So this is why I let it expire. So it was set up on Jason's card. We had a couple months ago, we had some issues where there were fraudulent charges on his card and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and so, you know why? Because my bank is so amazing that it just doesn't even affect us. Yeah, they like call and they're like, "Is this your charge?"
Tony's like, "I can't even believe like no one has called about my card because I've been in like another country. I've rented a car. All this bullshit." We've got 0 calls. That's
super weird because I had to ask Jason. I was like, "Hey, I got a text that said, did you try to use your card? Like, are you?" He was like, "Oh yeah, it's because I'm in Washington. I already talked to the bank." So I'm like, "Oh, okay. Cool."
Is it because it's your debit card or is it a credit card?
It's a debit card. So maybe that's why.
That's why?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just our regular credit union that we bank with. But when all of that happened, obviously they cancel his card, send him a new card. Mm-hmm. So we had quite a few things connected to his card, which I don't know why we do this. And maybe that's why his card gets hacked. I don't know. Because his card is always the one that gets...
You need to set it up to a credit card.
We don't do credit cards, so it's difficult to do that.
Well, you need to set it up to a debit card that belongs to like a random account or something. Then I guess
then we have to transfer funds over. And so I don't know, but so there were a couple of things that it was like we had to update payment things and whatever. Well, American Home Warranty was one of them. And they would not stop calling. Like, they were nonstop calling.
They are fucking annoying.
And so that was so annoying. So I was like, forget this. I'm going to let it expire because they're so irritating. I'm spiteful like that.
Yeah.
Like, if a company irritates me, I'm like, bye.
Yeah.
So that's why I purposefully let it expire because they were so dang annoying with it.
Yeah.
It's like, calm down. I can go on the website and I can update it, but you guys are calling multiple times a day, every single day.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying. So.
Well, that is very annoying. I hate when everything is tied to something and then that has to change. A card has to change. Like, that happened with me with like one of my cards, and it was hooked up to my debit card, and it was like the card was expiring.
Oh, yes. We've had that issue.
And I'm like, no.
Like, some things I have set up so it's linked to our bank account. Like routing number checking. But some places they don't do. They want a card on file.
I used to do that where I would have it all set up to my debit or my checking account. I don't do that anymore.
Too risky?
Yes. So I do everything to a card. Everything's on a credit card. Everything. And now I just pay the card.
Does the gym require a card, it does, they won't use your checking account. So annoying. I know. So, and that's really annoying because Jason's the card that we set up most of the time. And so then we get all these alerts when something happens.
Yeah.
And it's like,
how many
gosh, like
things you have to change.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I can't remember, on something he was like, I'm just setting up your card for it. Like, I'm not putting my new card.
Yeah.
Because his really is, like, we've had multiple times that his card's
and it's
been
probably
canceled.
because if he's using it everywhere and he's traveling and
that's true. He does travel.
That's the card that gets used everywhere.
That is true. He does travel. I always just assume it's because what I actually would always tell him is it's because you shop too much. Like, you shop too much, and that's what's wrong.
Tony.
I know. But I'm assuming it's because we link his card to everything. But up until probably like 6 months ago, I didn't know my card information. So if I'm like signing up for something and we're upstairs and my card's downstairs, I'm like, what's your card information? Because
he knows it like regularly?
Yeah. I know mine now.
Oh, I don't know anything.
Yeah. I didn't for a long time, but
I know the first 4, that's about it.
Yeah. Is it a Visa or MasterCard?
Visa.
4899? Oh,
4766.
Oh. Yeah. Isn't it weird how, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's too risky. That's really easy to switch up a card, like change a digit and mess up a card.
Yeah.
Like if you put it in. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyhow.
I know. Sorry, rant. Yes. So really quick, Tony just came back from out of town for work.
I almost said the wrong place. I'm so glad I didn't say that.
So, we've talked about this before, like, Tony travels more for work, but it's like, that's not that much. It's like, it's nothing compared to you guys. Like, Jason travels 5 days a week.
Yeah, that's stupid.
52 weeks a year, as your son would
He's going to have a surgery, though. He's like, right? There are 52
There's
weeks.
52, right? Not 48. He travels, a couple days out of the month, if that, and that's it. Well, this was 9 days in Vietnam.
That's a long trip.
It's a long trip. 9 days in Vietnam. And I think there's a few things. So one is I was excited for him. Like, he was so anxious to go. Like, he was really anxious.
Why?
I think he was a little scared. I say anxious loosely.
Like that he might die?
Like,
or what?
Like, he's gone for so long. What is he going to do with himself on a plane for that long?
Oh, yeah. He doesn't. He's not like us.
No.
Yeah. So when I say like us, I mean like Priscilla's odd. She doesn't sleep very much in general. But on a plane, she can sleep
out.
Yeah.
Easy.
And I can sleep pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
At any time.
Yeah.
Almost.
He can't. And he was like, okay, what am I going to do on a plane that long? And
I didn't ask him if he was able to sleep most of it. Was he?
So on the way there, he did great.
Oh, good.
He did really good about trying to sleep. The way back, not so much. But I honestly think the way there, he had like a more luxurious seat.
Because there wasn't the issue with the plane changing and all of that.
Yeah, and on the way, so the way it goes is he flew to LAX, and then from LAX he flew to Japan, and then from Japan he flew to Vietnam. And the flight from LAX to Japan is like 11 hours or something. And so the first flight had like your seat is like it's like a bed. It's a modular, like it has like a little wall in between you and the next seat, and it's its own little whatever. And someone brings you a glass of champagne and slippers and is like, doting on you, right? And he did say, he's like, we have a kick-ass like lounge. Like, our lounge is like full free bar. It's business and has nice, wonderful showers. It's like all this like nice sitting areas, and it was it was tricked out, right? So they're fine at LAX. They get on this great flight, whatever, and then but the only thing is they had to wear a mask from LAX to Japan.
Dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people are sensitive about that, but there's a lot of studies now.
So they did that, and then they get to Japan, and then from Japan to Vietnam is another 6-hour flight.
It's really that far?
Yeah.
I am completely oblivious about the globe, to be honest.
I know.
I mean, like, I understand the United States, and like I get how long it takes to fly different states and that type of thing. But when we're talking like another continent, like that kind of thing, I'm so oblivious to where things are, I guess.
So he flies from Japan to another 6 hours to Vietnam. And then he gets to Vietnam, which he was, I guess they said like you should wear a mask, but they weren't being super strict or whatever. So he gets to Vietnam, and then he's in Ho Chi Minh for a couple of days. And
I know people that listen know where
I know, I hope so too. And so he's there in Ho Chi Minh for a couple of days, and then he has to take a 2-hour flight.
Drink back here. I'm not being weird with my butt.
Take a 2-hour flight to Hanoi, which is on the north side of Vietnam. So even within Vietnam, he is still flying to another town.
Yeah.
So he flies to Hanoi. He stays there for a couple of days. He flies back to Ho Chi Minh and stays there for a couple of days before he ends his trip there, and then he flies to Japan, to LAX, whatever. So
the way back, his plane was not. Why would it be a different kind of plane from Japan to LAX?
I don't know. But
you would think an international flight like that long, would it?
He said it was just kind of different. He goes, it wasn't. It didn't have all the fancy.
But that was the plane that they had to switch out. Like
that's true,
right?
Yes, okay. and same airline, but different flight. So not the flight that they booked. They had to switch out the planes, and maybe that's why. I don't know.
It must be that, because that's a little cray.
I know. So,
I would think anything with that long of a flight.
Yeah.
That is a really long flight. I think I might have to drug myself up if I did a flight that long. Just because my anxiety, I would start thinking like...
And this is like...
There's no way we're going to last.
It's true like when you think about it, but my mom sounds like such a blonde. Because she's like, no offense. But she's like... she's like, so... Does he fly into daylight because of the time change? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, it's night there, but then he's flying into the day before or the day after. So is he flying into daylight? Like, how does that look? And I'm like, I was like
any other sunrise?
What? I don't know.
I feel like it would look like any other time you're on a flight and it's dark, it comes into daylight.
Yeah.
But it's I love Michelle, so I'm not talking trash, but I have to say that question, it sounds like when he flies into the next day.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
In the next day when he flies into it. Like it almost like it's like a time travel type thing.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I mean, it is weird. Well, remember I was like, so wait, you're like 36 hours difference, is it? And then I did like 48-hour different time change. I'm like, I don't know. I can't compute it in my head. I'm special about it.
It is very hard. So normally when he travels, he's not traveling internationally. He's traveling like state to state, right?
Yeah.
Like he's going to Nevada. He's going to, Michigan. Like he's going to all these different places, but within the state. He, for this, going that far of a difference, like we basically couldn't talk. it was like, our conversations were like this, because normally he's going to bed and I'm starting my day, or I'm going to bed and he's starting his day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we were just complete opposite schedules. So that was a little difficult. Normally we at least can just pick up the phone and call real quick for a minute.
Yeah.
Just didn't have that. But I was fine with the kids. I know I was I was trying to prepare myself, because I know how much he does.
Yeah.
Like, I am aware of how much he does.
He's an involved
very
dad.
helpful.
Yeah.
He's very helpful. And I knew I wasn't going to have that. So I was like, really trying to like prep as much as possible. And I think the only thing I'll say is I need to meal prep better.
I need to do that on a weekly basis also.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that my 17-year-old has her license the next time, because that's difficult.
She absolutely should, right?
If it's timed right, yeah.
Because it's not.
Because she's got to have it for 6 months.
And she's like, yeah.
Yes. So we're going to be close, but he had a great, his experience was great. His work was great. His like cultural experience was great.
Oh, we have to talk about
so much fun. So he, it's kind of interesting. Like, we had heard that it was a little westernized because of like just even people like having children there during war, and kind of like coming back and forth between the States and Vietnam and all of this stuff. So we knew it was kind of westernized in some ways. So he said, traffic is crazy. Like, think of like LA traffic or New York traffic, right? Like bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
But everybody is on a motorcycle. Like, everyone's on a moped or a scooter.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane.
Including getting on a scooter with a full family. So a family of four.
That's the most crazy.
Like me holding a baby, being on the back of the scooter, him driving, Georgia like on his lap, holding no one has helmets on, and they're just fucking going in traffic. And
that's just
like,
crazy.
He goes, and there's like six traffic lights in this ginormous city full of people. There's no traffic lights.
Isn't that so funny? Because it's hard to even imagine, because I'm not well traveled.
They packed the fuck out of their fucking
those photos that you sent, I was like, holy cow.
Yeah. I can't wait till you show till you talk about this with your nail guy.
Oh.
Because he's from there, and so it's like to have someone else come and see it, and then you're seeing like...
Yeah, because he grew up there. He didn't come here until he was a teenager.
Right.
So that's, like, granted, I mean, he's much older than a teenager.
Does he ever go back and visit, though?
Yeah, they haven't been back for a while, but they do. Yeah.
So it's like...
Well, because he's still a citizen there. His wife has become a citizen here.
Can they have dual?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, because I want to say that she had to give up her citizenship there.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, and she's actually from Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
I can't say it like you. So that's where, or Saigon, that's when she lived there. I think.
Oh, that's what
your
my
magnet
says.
Magnet? Yeah. I don't know when exactly they changed that, but yeah, he said after the Chinese took over.
Well,
that's
he
when
did say,
really
Tony
changed.
said there is a huge Chinese influence that you see when you're there, in how much they own, the buildings and things like that. And there's a big oversee of that, but it's interesting. It's just a completely different lifestyle, Yeah. Like he said, he goes, here you lay on your horn because you're being an asshole. There, they're literally like, I'm fucking coming. I'm coming. I'm letting you know where I'm coming because that's where I'm going. That's where I'm looking.
He had said in one ride, our taxi driver hit the horn more times than I've ever hit mine in my life.
Yeah.
In a 15-minute drive.
And it's not out of frustration.
Right. It's just like communication.
Yeah, it's communication.
it's so crazy. It is so crazy how different things are in other cultures. I wish that I traveled more. I wish I knew more about that kind of thing, because I think it's so interesting to see. Like, we think like, oh my gosh, that's like almost like primitive, right?
Well, we even get, I think, a culture shock going from state to state.
That's true.
Think about that.
That is true. I know.
Then you go to like
cross
a different
out of
country.
Nevada and they don't use toilet seat covers. It's super weird. Yeah. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
And I'm like, there's a culture shock like in Mexico, but that's right next door.
I think we're more aware.
We're aware of it.
We see it.
We're aware of it. Like, but then you go to like these, like, I mean, I don't know. I've never traveled like that. I think the younger generation is doing a better job of going and visiting these other countries and traveling more. I think so. I hear people travel more, and I think that's great, because then they learn more about these.
Maybe it's people cultures. Are waiting to have kids. We had our kids relatively young, so we didn't have a whole lot of time to travel. Yeah. Well, I also didn't have enough money to travel before I had kids, so that wasn't going to happen.
I'm not sure these kids have money either, but that's where
they have credit cards. Who knows? Stimulus.
They're spending it there, so that's fine.
But that is good, because I think, I don't know, I think it's important to realize that there are other ways to live.
Yeah.
Even here, there are areas where you can move somewhere and it's not the fast-paced life of California. Yeah. Or even here versus LA is different. Gosh,
yeah.
And not to be mean to anyone that's from LA or anything, but I forget that I don't want to use my manners in LA because I'm so bothered by the fact that people are not friendly.
Yeah.
I know people will be like, oh, like they've gone, back south, like they've gone south, or, they've gone to Tennessee, or they've gone somewhere and they're like, everybody's so nice, they're so friendly, they say, they'll talk to you, they'll blah, 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 smile at you on the street, but I feel like I do that here.
Yeah.
But it's like, when we were in Disneyland, the last time we were in Disneyland, I had to run to Target and Walmart. I was looking for something. I had to do 2 different stores because I couldn't find it at Walmart. But when I was there, if I walked in, oh, I'm so sorry. And, here's someone, oh, it's okay, whatever. And they're they act as if I don't even exist. And I'm like, ew, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand it. Mm-hmm. And I am not a huge fan of people. Yeah. I don't like crowded places, right? I'm not a big fan of that. So it's if I'm polite enough to act that way and I don't necessarily want to be around all these people, then the least you could do is acknowledge that I am breathing the same air as you. Gosh, I don't know. It's crazy. But I do think it's good. And I don't know how kids are taking it, but obviously the younger generation is completely different from us.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a good idea for them to understand that they've got it good.
Yeah.
And they've got it good.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people want to complain about the way we live and what's going on, and they hate America and this and that, and it's you've got it good, and you should be darn grateful that you were born here.
Yeah.
Because, hello, you could be a family of 4 on a moped honking through.
Yeah, with a pack of diapers that are fucking...
A lot of diapers. Of diapers, yeah. And it's and those people, they probably don't think anything of it because that's just the way it is, right? Yeah. Just like it's the way it is here. Yeah. But it's things are so much easier for us than it is for them.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know the travel and that kind of thing. It's probably not as easy to get a regular vehicle. They're probably much more expensive.
You know what Tony said? He's there wouldn't be anywhere to park.
Well, that too.
There's no parking.
That's another thing.
There's no room for a car. There's no way cars could you can't have
They're
cars.
just so populated.
And they also have the whole, like, they do, like, the only, like, you can only have 2 children, and then you have to pay additional money
crazy
to have more.
Okay, so something else that was crazy to me, and I'm going to have to ask my nail guy about this, because, you know, my nail guy knows that my girls are my stepdaughters. You know, he's well aware of that. But Tony was telling us that one of the guys that they met with for the work thing. Do you want to tell the story? I feel like you're a better storyteller than I am.
I don't know. So, okay. I'm trying to remember here. So Tony went to dinner with this guy who owned one of the factories that they were looking at, and he also owned the restaurant that they were going to. And they're having dinner, and the guy he's like the son of the owner, right? Of everything. They own like tons of real estate, I guess, in Vietnam. They have different businesses, factories, restaurants, shops, all kinds of stuff. So, so they're with the son, and I guess he's married, and they're having dinner, they're having a great time, and he's like, "Oh, Tony, are you married?" And Tony's like, "Yeah, I'm married." And he's like, "Do you have kids?" He goes, "Yeah, I have 3 girls. I said I have a stepdaughter that's 17, and then I have, you know, my 2 younger girls." And he goes, and I don't know how he said it, and he goes, "She lives with you? You let her live?
You let her in
you
your
let
house?
her in your house? You let her in your house?
To her?"
Yeah, he was like blown away that Tony allows my daughter that's not his to live in our house, that he even has anything to do with her. Like, he was like blown away. And Tony and his boss are like looking at each other like, yeah, she lives with us. And he's like, "Oh my gosh." So he's like, well, I guess he's married, and his wife has a son from a previous relationship or marriage, or I don't know what, but technically he has a stepson, but he's like, he's not allowed in my house. Like, I have nothing to do with him. I have no relationship with him. I have nothing to do with him. He's not allowed in our house, blah, 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 blah. And Tony's like, "That's crazy."
It's insane.
That's
like, that
crazy.
blew my mind too. When Tony
And
was
so
telling
he's like,
us,
"So does she have a relationship? Does your wife have a relationship with her son?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, she can have a relationship. That's her business, but he's not allowed in my house."
which is so crazy, because when Tony was explaining it, it's like,
which maybe in their mind is like a disrespect because it's not their blood, and they're like a blood driven, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It is just insane to me, because, well, like, here, that's like a no-brainer. Like, what do you mean she's allowed in the house? Like, she lives there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So bizarre, right? But I mean, I guess to him,
in that culture, do you think like the dad takes more care of the child if they separate?
So,
and the mom?
Okay, here is
if the mom remarries or can remarry, whatever.
Yeah, how it all works, I don't know.
I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, because so the thing is okay, my nail guy and his wife, they were both Vietnamese, and so his wife, they've been married a long time, you know, like, I think almost as long as I've known them, they've been married, which I started going when I was in high school to him. And so she keeps her last name. All of their kids they have his last name, but she keeps her last name. And then they also, like, her mother lives very close to them. They're very close with her family. And, you know, in a lot of Asian cultures, the daughters do take care of the parents as they get older. You know, like, her mom doesn't live with them, but she lives, I believe, in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
And I do think they help support her.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe her dad has passed away, and it's just the mom. But they do take care, like the women do take care of the family.
Yes.
Now he's involved with his mother also lives here in Fresno, and they see her a lot also. She lives a little further away, but the wife's mom, their youngest, goes to her house a lot and things like that. Like over summer, he'll be with her and things like that. Maybe because out of convenience, but a lot of times the daughters are taking care. And I don't know if maybe his sisters are more involved with his mother, and that kind of thing. But it's, a lot of times as a parent, you do think like your daughter would be the people, like the family to take care of you. Yeah. Like you're kind of screwed because you're the oldest and you're a girl, and so you're gonna be the one.
Oh my gosh,
right?
I know. And I told my stepdad already, like, I'm not cleaning asses. It's not happening. No. So we'll figure that out when that bridge comes.
Yeah, my mom and I think we're both on the same page. She has always said, like, I wouldn't want to be a burden on you. And I know you might say I'm not a burden, but I have me live at a home. Like, I don't want to live at your house.
I actually think that I would want to live at a home. Those fucking senior homes are fucking tits. I mean,
as long as you're in a good one,
full
right?
Bars, they got like,
as long as you're in a good one,
as long
right?
As you're in a good one,
which you can. Like, I mean, I feel the same. Like Jason always says, like, the first time you forget my name, like, you're out of here. Like, he'll say that, and I'm like, no, but really. And I had a conversation with the boys just the other day, because Hayden was like, Mom, like, if you forget who I am, would you be sad if I don't visit you? And I said, honestly, no. Like, if I'm forgetting who you are, don't feel like you need to come and visit me. Yeah. Because that kind of, when someone has
dementia.
Yeah. When you have dementia, it's very hard on the family. It is very, very difficult. Yeah. And so I feel like I'm not going to know. I'm not going to know one way or the other. You know, maybe every now and then I might remember, but like 10 seconds later, I'm going to forget.
Except Hayden is totally not going to be that.
No, he won't. He won't. He's like me. He's like me, so he won't. But I did say, like, if I forget you, or like if it's too hard, then I don't want you to see me. But my brothers, they wouldn't visit my grandma in her facility because it's, and I think boys handle things differently, maybe because women are more caregivers. It's different, but it was super difficult for them to see her that way, and even like on holidays, like I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, but my grandma got there and Steven went and gave her a hug, and I think he cried for like 5 minutes hugging her. Like, it's just like, not that it's not hard for me, but I think women and men handle things like that differently. Yeah. So anyhow. So off that rant. Tony's back from Vietnam. He is. And he's still allowing Tristan to live here, so that's great.
Yeah. And he spent, 5 million dong on us.
Yeah, 5 million dong.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of dong.
In souvenirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of dong. I told Priscilla, just because you want 5 million dong. And she said that was not the case for her.
I did not want 5 million dong. I didn't.
She might be lying to us. Who knows?
Didn't ask for any dong.
She actually said, I asked for -0 dong. So she wasn't interested in the dong. But he did spend 5 million dong.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The whole
their conversion rate.
Currency conversion is crazy, and how much our currency
dollar is versus theirs. Yeah, especially because with inflation and everything, it's like, oh my gosh, we were just at the store buying lunch meat, and it's like $6 and some change to get some lunch meat.
I'm going to sound like, here's my moment of total old lady mom, but the cheapest chicken breast is in town is Winco $1.78. That was always the cheapest. But Walmart was consistently $1.89 or $1.98.
I think $1.98.
$1.98 for years. Consistent. $1.98. $1.98. Chicken breast. $1.98. So I knew where I could always go get my chicken. It is $2.94 a pound.
Isn't that just like so painful?
It is. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
It is.
It is such bullshit. It was $1.98 forever, for years, which I'm sure it's gone up from when it was like, 69 cents a pound. But what I'm saying is it has, in my motherhood, adulthood, whatever.
You have a 17-year-old. Like,
yes,
you've been on your own for a long time.
I know what I'm spending on things. I don't go to the grocery store and spend blindly. I know exactly what everything costs. And to see it jump a whole $1 like that, I'm like,
yeah,
this is fucking nuts.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to get just a bag of green, like, romaine hearts, right? Just like the cut up romaine hearts in a bag. Nothing special. I guess they have, carrots and some purple cabbage, whatever, right? But it didn't have any dressing, none of that. And it was almost $5.
It's crazy.
For just the lettuce. And yeah, I am lame, and I did buy that instead of just buying romaine hearts. But I feel like because a lot of times you get the ends and they're like that nasty pink. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I hate it. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going to buy the bag because that's what I can eat for lunch, and whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, we bought lunch meat for, sandwiches, the kids, whatever, and yeah. It was, Jason's like, dang, lunch meat's expensive. I'm like, yeah, everything's expensive. Everything is. Like, I was excited that my green onions were only 88 cents. It's like,
yeah,
I'm excited about something like that when they shouldn't even be 88 cents, but it is what it is. But yeah, so expensive. Stupid.
It's stupid. Okay, I want you to tell me about what you were trying to talk to me about earlier.
Off camera and audio, I was trying to talk to Priscilla about my vagina.
Vagina juice.
Yes. So what I was telling her is we have a girlfriend who can wear no chonies, whatever, she's fine. I'm like,
hold on, back this up. She wears no underwear, like with her clothes and to bed.
Yes. Like she's fine without wearing chonies.
Naked to bed.
Yeah.
In bed.
I don't know that she does now that she's a mom.
I don't know, but she's
either way, which I did change when I became a mom. I did change the way I was sleeping.
Did you sleep naked before?
I'm not 100% sure. I didn't used to own granny panties though.
Oh, okay.
Like before being a mom, I didn't have granny panties, and then you come out of the hospital and you have to have them.
Yeah.
Gotta have something to put that big old diaper into.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I probably slept in a whole lot less. But I can't not wear underwear, which sometimes I used to. Before kids, before any of that, I do know sometimes I'd go commando. But I have too many juices happening, and I can't.
I cannot understand how anyone can sleep naked. I feel like, but I've always taken it like maybe it's a thing because like things happened to me when I was little and I was asleep, so I want to.
Maybe, but I think some people just don't like it too.
But then as I've gotten older, it's kind of like that's been like, wait, that doesn't even come into my head. Yeah, and I'm like, no, like I need, and I don't want a thong. I want fucking underwear. I can go topless, but I need bottoms. But I typically don't go topless because my kids are going to fucking come in.
Yeah.
And my girls are very, like, when they were younger, it was fine. But they're getting to the point, like, my 4.5-year-old, like, she's like, Mom, why don't you have a top on, Mom? And it's like, okay, I'm definitely wearing it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. See,
I can wear, I actually really love, like, almost like their sleeper bras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I love them.
I know. I like
because I'm a sports bra girl.
I love a sports bra.
You have bigger chichis than I do.
No, No, that's not even it. I have a lot bigger belly than you, so I don't feel super awesome with my belly hanging out.
Okay.
So I like to wear a shirt.
Yeah.
I do wear at times just a sports bra or whatever.
But let's talk about these juices.
Yeah, these juices. So I had asked her, I said, okay, I think I must be really acidic-y, right? I mean, I know there's all kinds of pH balance and blah, 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 all this, right, going on down there. And I do know that the acidic whatever of down there helps to kill sperm and yada, yada, right?
Yeah.
Remember learning all that.
Yeah.
But something that I had noticed like 2 weeks ago is in a pair of cotton, it's a cotton thong, that there's like a ringish type little circular area where it looks like the material is thinner than the rest of the material. And it looks like that would be where some of my juices went to. Like my juices ate up part of the choni.
Okay. I have often thought I have gotten a pair of thongs out of my drawer and I'm like, did my vagina chew these underwear? Why are there like pieces missing? What happened to the inside of the thong?
Yeah.
It's not my ass.
Right. It's only the vagina part.
So, like, I didn't fart and it blew a hole. I don't understand. Like, it's towards the front. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So, is it chewing? Does our vagina juice chew through underwear?
I think it must break it down.
So, how long do you think you're supposed to wear underwear?
Not
how long do you have underwear? How long do you think you're supposed to wear underwear, especially a thong it's in your cheeks, it's in your cooter, it's in everything.
Yeah,
it's all the way up there, sitting there all day long.
But you know, I like to wear moist. I use the moist wipes on my butt, so it doesn't matter what goes up my crack because I've wiped it clean with my wet wipes.
Stinky. I'm just saying, like it's been up there all day long. So, how long do you think you're supposed to wear those?
I feel like where's your phone, and it might be something you should be checking on. We can't check on mine since mine's in use. But, like, what do you think? Like a year?
I think it probably is even earlier than that.
You think? Yeah. Okay, and I have chonies way longer.
Oh.
I only throw away chonies if they have holes.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a hole. And it's so sad, you know, like I'm a yo-yoer, so I fluctuate in my weight. So sometimes maybe it's a little more difficult to pull my chonies up because I'm heavier, and maybe I like tear the lace a little bit, and I'll still wear those shits. I don't know. But I am very curious. I think, and I know that the guy listeners may not be a huge fan on this, but I think we need to have a whole conversation on vaginas. Because
I do too.
There's a lot of stuff.
It says never keep panties more than 6 to 9 months.
Oh my gosh! And how do you even know how long you've had a pair? Like, I know I've had mine way longer than that. Yeah. I probably haven't bought hardly any panties in the last 6 to 9 months.
Buy 4 or 5 new panties or new undies every 6 months, or simultaneously toss out 4 or 5 old ones.
Well, I have so many that I could toss out 4 or 5, and it doesn't even make a difference because I've kept them.
There's a reason they are $5, ladies.
Ah! Really?
That's what it says. I don't do that.
I don't.
I keep mine for like 10 years.
I'm not kidding. No, I'm not joking. I have chonies that I've had since before I've been with Jason.
I know I have some at least 10 years because
we're almost at our 18th anniversary.
You have 20-year-old panties?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, it's an advertisement. I was like, what? That's
Jared,
cool.
You're getting crazy. Wow. Yeah, I do. I know that's really bad. And maybe they stick in the back of the drawer and I don't really... Because, you know, like, I have 2 drawers. Like, my nightstand, 2 drawers full of panties. One are my grannies.
Full of panties?
Oh, yes. One, all my grannies.
You might need to purge a little bit.
One, all I can't, because what if I need that white one for that white pair of pants? And then
you make enough money to go buy another pair of white thongs.
but I probably haven't even worn them very much. Why go buy them?
In 20 years?
Well, no, the white ones aren't 20 years old. Because
I'm not really talking shit because I seriously have old ass. I mean, Tony has. Here's the thing. Here's the weird fucking thing. We'll spend money on the dumbest shit, right?
Yeah.
We fucking buy food. We're eating out. We buy dumb, stupid shit that we whatever. But why is it so hard for us to spend money on fucking underwear?
You know, I wish Jason had that problem. Jason buys new chonies all the time. And
really?
You want to know
I just made him buy new underwear. I was like, babe. And here's the thing, though. I'm even being more supportive about him buying underwear than I would myself. I'm like, babe, you need new underwear. You need new underwear. Throw those old ones out.
You know why? Because I think guys are nastier than us, too, though. Like, I feel like they do. But,
well, yeah.
I mean,
guys,
yeah.
Think about, like, their butt. Ew.
Yeah. Yeah, they have, like, hair and stuff, right? So, but here's the thing. Jason also doesn't buy cheap chonies.
Your husband is so bougie.
Right, and he should not be.
Princess.
He should not be. But it's really bad because now he's started buying Hayden some of these more expensive chonies.
Oh.
And I mean, the boys love it. Like, no joke. Okay, this might sound really bad. My almost 13-year-old can wear the same chonies as Jason. You know,
Your almost 13-year-old has some junk in the trunk.
He does. He has a lot of junk in the trunk.
Yeah.
Like, Jason has a booty, but Jackson has a booty.
Yeah. He's got the booty and the thighs.
Yes. So he can wear like, Jason's chonies.
Yeah, I could see
and
that.
Sometimes he'll put them on, and I'm like, are you wearing? Those are your dad's. And he's like, I couldn't find any of mine. And I'm like, first of all, maybe weirdish. I don't know. I don't share chonies with my girls. You know, I don't think you're supposed super
to.
Awkward.
I don't think you're supposed to.
But
because of juices.
Right?
Probably. Yeah.
Yes.
Think about that.
Yeah. So I would not like to do that. But Jackson doesn't care. But he's like, they're so comfortable. Like, he just loves Jason's underwear. And I'm like, oh, did you, Jason?
Where does Jason
pair of thieves? It's the brand. You can get them at Walmart. Walmart recently started carrying them. And Jason, I was like, oh, babe, did you know? Pair of thieves. Yeah. Jason freaking loves them. Hayden loves them. Jackson loves them. Super comfy. I wanted to get these. I forget what brand it is. I'll have to look it up. But it's one that I've heard like a sponsor for one of the podcasts I listen to. And I've looked because I'm like, oh, maybe I could get Jason those. So expensive. No, like I could not ever bring myself to buy them. But I'm not going to buy myself expensive chonies either.
I know. But
maybe I should stop keeping them so long. Mm-hmm. Fine, I'll go through and I'll get rid of all my old ones that are like old. Because they do just sit in the drawer. They're like emergency only. Like something happened and no laundry was done for a really long time.
We need to do a video of this. I need to see how much you purge of your underwear.
But then remember when we did the Valentine's Day and Jason held up my underwear and then people see how big my underwear is?
Well, I just want to see your pile. How big? How many? Not how big they are individually.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what you were talking about was, really quick before this episode ends, the acidity in our vagina.
Yeah.
Eating our underwear. And I do think that that's a thing. And I literally just saw something on Facebook.
But what did you read about it?
Did you read it? I didn't read it. I didn't read.
See, if I had told you about my acidic vagina
I would have read it. I would have read it.
Dang it.
But it also talked about, there was another one that came up. Don't ask me why. I swear I was not even looking up underwear.
You want to know why? Because we've talked about dong a lot since Tony's been back. Maybe and it probably thinks that you want to research your hoo-ha.
Okay, so that you know how in our underwear there's that extra.
Yeah. The extra piece, the extra layer, so it keeps in your juices.
Is that what it is?
That's what I think it's there for.
I don't think that's what it's there for.
What do you think it's there for?
I don't know. It talked about that, and I tried reading the article, but it went like, that's the only one I did click on, and it was like taking
Sorry, you
too
guys,
long.
I hope you don't hear that. I feel like they're going to hear it on the video one.
Probably.
But what is it for then?
I don't know, because I'm going to have to Google it, because I tried going through the article and I didn't see it. But it was like things that you do every day or use every day that you don't really know what their actual usage is.
I really thought it was extra padding, because I'm going to get really gross here. Okay. Most of my underwear, that doesn't cover enough to keep all my juices in. That extra triangle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
My juices go above it. And so a lot of times it gets on my pants too. Have you ever noticed that?
What do you mean?
So like, say I'm wearing a pair of lacy underwear and the extra triangle is lower down, so part of my juices come up. Like, say it's a really juicy time frame for me. Sometimes it's like really bad.
When do you notice it's at a certain point in your month?
I think it's probably close to ovulation.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But like, it's been in the last few days, I've been like really bad, and I think I'm getting close to ovulating. So that would be my guess. But like, if I'm wearing lace chonies, then say, I wear leggings a lot. I'm a chubby bubby, so I like to wear my leggings. And then I pull my leggings down, and there's little juices that got onto my leggings through my lace chonies, because the extra triangle did not provide enough coverage for my cooch.
I don't have that issue. But I will say this. So when I work out, I don't wear underwear when I work out.
You can do that.
Okay, but...
Is it because you sweat, so it doesn't matter if your juices are there, because you're going to be sweaty anyway?
Probably. I'm going to have sweaty vagina no matter what. But why is it that I always have a camel toe?
Oh my gosh, I was hoping you would say that. Okay, we are going to have to cut this off, but we're going to have a vagina conversation, because I also...
Why? What am I doing?
I don't know.
Why is it always a camel toe?
We need to talk to Khloe Kardashian.
Do I just have fat vagina lips?
I told Jason, I think that as I've gained weight, my vagina has also gained weight, and my lips are fatter. You're not heavy. I don't know why your lips are fat. Just juicy, plump lips. I don't know. Like, I wish these lips would be plump.
Me too.
Stay fucking small there.
Yeah.
Like, my cooch is fine. Okay, no babies,
next
whatever.
episode, we're talking about
all
Cammie,
vaginas.
Toes, and
we're going to research some stuff, and we'll get back to you guys and talk about all those things. Camel toes, the juices, acid, the triangle.
Extra triangle.
Yep, what that's means. All about.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, just listen in, because
you'll learn something.
You'll learn something, and then likely your lady has the same issues.
Yeah.
We're not alone.
No.
Yeah. So
there's no way.
No.
Okay,
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks for swapping with us.